There, and this is the first lesson on how to use a Kettlewell Frictionless Mouthpiece or slider. This is a Little Punk custom harp with its slider, and this is another one I use, which is a Suzuki SCX, and I also have a slider for it. Okay, well, couple of things. First thing I do, you know, when you used to play a conventional mouthpiece instrument, your lips went right on the mouthpiece and you lubricated the lips to allow them to slide with spit, which dries all the time. You don't have that with this. Your lip will be resting gently in a stationary manner here, and it will slide left and right on the mouthpiece. This is a stock mouthpiece. You can use a stock mouthpiece. You don't have to change it at all. These are handmade, of course, out of Lexan. Hand sanded and ground on a bench grinder. And so the first thing I do when I want to get started in the very beginning, you know, is I take a little lip balm and I put it on my lips because I like the way it feels. I like lip balm, and I don't have to slide on the mouthpiece anymore, so it doesn't matter, and it gives me a little more grip on the slider, but I don't really need that grip. So you just place it on right like that. Okay. And then I hold a microphone usually with the instrument because that's the way I play it. And I'm just going to slide left and right. So you can do scales if you want to, you know, do a chromatic scale. But basically, if you look at the essential method, it's not, you can do that, but instead I do. And you might be saying, boy, that has a lot richer tone than a typical stainless steel reed Seidel Saxony. And it does, because this particular slider is pretty thick. And here's a Suzuki instrument, and you can see that they have just about the same profile now in terms of total height if you add in the slider. And I wanted it that way because it's bigger to the hand, and I like that ergonomic. So it also takes what was a trapezoidal mouthpiece, and I've turned it into a rounded, because that's the most neutral and comfortable shape. It's very similar to a flute mouthpiece. So there's a lot of subtle changes. Now the hole, of course, has been smoothed to your lip so that it doesn't bother you, and all the edges of the slider have all been smoothed to make it comfortable. So there's nothing sharp or, you know, it's problematic. And when you're on the lowest hole, it does overhang a little bit, and when you're on the highest, it overhangs a little there too, but not enough to impede your playing. Let's talk a little bit about how your lips go on the slider. When you were playing a conventional mouthpiece, you either did a pucker or a tongue block. You don't really do either one with this. Watch. This is my relaxed lip. I just place this on a relaxed lip. I'm not puckering anymore. You don't have to use your facial muscles tensed into a pucker or use your tongue, because the slider doesn't care what your mouth looks like underneath it. It's just a single hole. And again, you get that really rich tone. tone out of this instrument. The harp, of course, again, needs no modification to use with the slider. So I think the first thing I'd like you to practice I either have the arm down or up to here. Of course, you can hit 2 notes, right? Because you can straddle 2 holes. Or play directly onto a hole. It's your choice. But I would say the first skill is to move the hand left and right in a relaxed, don't let it tense up, don't let any tension in your body, just a gentle. So you have a relaxed embouchure, and you have a relaxed arm. That makes a relaxed player. Okay, that's the end of the first lesson, but let me show you what we do when we're through playing. Now, because you're not dribbling saliva, because you're playing it with a dry lip, your harp stays clean. But you still want to allow it to air out and dry between play, and that makes it a problem-free instrument, which I've always wanted in harmonica. I take and will wipe off the mouthpiece just so I've wiped it off, and then I take a teeny little bit of this Hetman's light bearing and linkage lubricant, rotary valve 13, very high grade, and I just put a teeny little coating on it. I just do this. And then, see, how this is straight tuned harp, of course, with a short throw slide. It's only 5mm slide. I really like that. But half the comb chambers are sealed up. Now the other half. But if I take a toothpick and I just insert it in here, I can prop open that instrument. And now, if I get it up on a glass or something, air can circulate through the whole harp and dry it out. So that's what you want to do when you're through playing, and you don't need to do anything with this except just put it on a shelf and be ready to go next time. That's all there is to it. So that's the end of the first lesson.